The first step is to be honest. Honest about where you are and how you got there. You see, too many people walk through life in denial, pretending everything is fine when it's not. But pretending doesn't fix the problem. The sooner you admit, yes, I'm broken, the sooner you can start putting the pieces back together. Transformation begins with a moment of truth, a raw, unfiltered realization that something in your life is broken. It's not an easy moment to face. In fact, most people spend years avoiding it, hiding behind excuses, distractions, or even blaming others for their circumstances. But the truth is, you cannot fix what you refuse to acknowledge. Growth starts when you stand still, look at your life honestly, and say, this is where I am. This is what's broken. Taking responsibility for what's broken doesn't mean you're blaming yourself for everything that's gone wrong. It's not about self-punishment or wallowing in guilt. It's about owning your story. Because until you take ownership, you remain powerless to change anything. When you shift from saying, why did this happen to me, to what can I do about it, that's the moment the power comes back into your hands. You're no longer just a victim of circumstance, you're a participant in your own transformation. But let's be real, acknowledging brokenness is uncomfortable. It forces you to confront parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore. Maybe it's a habit that's been holding you back. Maybe it's a relationship you know you've outgrown but are too afraid to leave. Or maybe it's a dream you've let slip through your fingers because fear got in the way. Whatever it is, facing it head on takes courage. It's easier to pretend everything's fine, to plaster a smile over the cracks and keep moving as if nothing's wrong. But pretending only delays the inevitable. The cracks don't go away on their own. Left unaddressed, they grow wider and deeper until everything collapses. Acknowledgement is the first step toward healing. Think of it like a doctor diagnosing an illness. The pain might be there, but unless you identify the source, you can't treat it. Similarly, you have to identify the areas of your life that need rebuilding. Maybe it's your confidence that's shattered. Maybe it's your finances, your health, or your relationships. Whatever it is, you have to name it. Bring it into the light. Only then can you begin the work of repair. It's also important to be kind to yourself in this process. Recognizing what's broken doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. Every single person has moments of brokenness. The difference between those who rebuild and those who remain stuck is the willingness to face it, to admit, this isn't working. I need to make a change. That's not weakness, it's strength. It's the foundation of resilience. The beauty of acknowledging brokenness is that it opens the door to possibility. When you admit where you are, you give yourself permission to imagine where you could be. You stop carrying the weight of denial and start carrying the tools of change. Yes, it's a hard step to take, but it's also the most liberating. Because once you see the cracks, you can start to fill them. Once you take responsibility, you can start to rebuild. And in that rebuilding, you'll discover just how strong you really are. Pain is a universal language, something every human being experiences. It's raw, it's unrelenting, and for many, it's something to be avoided at all costs. But here's the truth, pain is also a powerful teacher. Growth is born from discomfort, and the more you try to run from it, the longer you delay the lessons it's meant to teach you. To rebuild yourself, you must make the conscious decision to face your pain head on, instead of spending your energy trying to escape it. Avoiding pain may seem like the easiest path, but avoidance is deceptive. It might feel good in the moment to distract yourself with entertainment, work, or even unhealthy habits. Yet every time you push the pain aside, it lingers beneath the surface, waiting for another moment to rise. Pain doesn't disappear just because you ignore it, it festers. Facing it, on the other hand, transforms it. The moment you stop running and stand still in the discomfort, you take the first step toward healing and growth. Pain forces you to confront the parts of yourself that need change. It strips away illusions and exposes the truth, often in ways that are difficult to accept. Maybe it's the pain of a relationship ending that forces you to evaluate your own boundaries, or the sting of failure that makes you realize you've been playing it too safe. Pain is a mirror. reflecting back the areas of your life where you've grown complacent or out of alignment. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also a gift. Because without that discomfort, you'd have no reason to change. Growth is not born in comfort zones, it's forged in the fires of struggle. The process of embracing pain is not about wallowing in it or letting it consume you. It's about recognizing it for what it is, a catalyst. When you choose to feel it fully, you begin to understand it. You start to see what it's trying to teach you. Pain has a way of revealing strengths you didn't know you had, of sharpening your focus and deepening your resilience. The moments of greatest discomfort often become the moments of greatest transformation, but only if you allow them to. This is not to say that embracing pain is easy. It takes courage to sit with your hurt instead of numbing it. It takes strength to admit that you're struggling and to confront the fears and insecurities that pain often brings to the surface. But in doing so, you reclaim your power. You stop being a prisoner to the pain and start using it as a tool for growth. When you embrace pain, you shift your perspective. You begin to see it not as something to fear, but as something that can work for you. Each tear, each setback, each moment of discomfort becomes a stepping stone. You come to understand that pain is temporary, but the growth it inspires can be permanent. By facing it head on, you emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared to build the life you deserve. Rebuilding yourself begins with a decision, one rooted in clarity and purpose. It's not enough to simply say, I want to change, or I want to be better. Change without direction is chaos, and progress without purpose is hollow. If you're serious about transformation, you must define your vision. Who do you want to become? What kind of life do you want to lead? These are the questions that form the blueprint for your journey. A vision is not just a vague hope or an abstract idea, it's a detailed picture of your future self. It's the guiding light that keeps you focused when the road gets rough and the motivation fades. Think of an architect designing a building. Before a single brick is laid, they create a detailed plan, a blueprint. Every line and angle has a purpose. Similarly, in rebuilding yourself, you need a clear and intentional vision. Without it, you risk building something unstable, something that doesn't truly reflect who you are or what you want. The process of defining your vision starts with self-reflection. You must take the time to ask yourself hard questions and answer them honestly. What matters most to you? What are your values, your passions, your dreams? What kind of person do you admire and why? These answers help you uncover the foundation of your vision. They ensure that the person you're working to become is authentic to you, not a version of yourself shaped by societal expectations or other people's opinions. Once you've identified what you want, make it specific. Vague goals like I want to be successful or I want to be happy lack the clarity needed to inspire action. What does success look like to you? Is it financial independence, a meaningful career, or strong relationships? What does happiness mean in your life? Is it peace of mind, a sense of purpose, or freedom from certain struggles? The clearer your vision, the easier it will be to align your daily actions with your long-term goals. Your vision should also challenge you. It should be big enough to excite you and bold enough to push you out of your comfort zone. A vision that feels too safe isn't a vision, it's a routine. Don't be afraid to dream of a version of yourself that feels just out of reach. That's where growth happens. At the same time, remember that your vision isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about building a life that reflects your potential, not chasing an unattainable ideal. Defining your vision is not a one-time exercise. As you grow and evolve, your vision will too. What matters is that you start with something clear, something meaningful. Write it down, visualize it, speak it into existence. When you have a defined vision, you create a destination for your journey. It gives your efforts direction and your sacrifices purpose. With a clear blueprint, every action, no matter how small, becomes a step toward building the person you are destined to become. Change is never an overnight process. No matter how big or small your goals are, the only way to achieve them is through consistent effort. Grand gestures and sudden bursts of motivation may feel inspiring in the moment, but they don't sustain transformation. The real progress happens in the quiet, unglamorous moments when you show up every day and do the work. Consistency is the foundation of any lasting change, and without it, even the best intentions crumble. The truth is, consistency is hard. It demands discipline, patience, and a willingness to embrace repetition. It's easy to be excited at the start of a journey when the goal feels fresh and new. But what happens after the excitement fades? When the routine becomes mundane or when progress feels slow? These are the moments when consistency matters most. It's about committing to the process, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Doing the work daily doesn't mean taking giant leaps every day. It's often about small, incremental actions that compound over time. Think about it like planting seeds. A farmer doesn't expect a harvest the day after planting. They water the soil, nurture the crops, and trust the process. Similarly, every small effort you make, every habit you build, every step you take adds up. The change might not be noticeable at first, but over time, those small actions create significant results. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. When you commit to doing the work every day, you prove to yourself that you can be relied upon. This self-trust is crucial, especially during challenging times. Life will inevitably throw obstacles your way, and there will be days when you feel like giving up. But when you've built a habit of showing up, you develop resilience. You train yourself to keep going, even when it's hard, because you know you've done it before. It's important to remember that consistency doesn't mean perfection. There will be days when you fall short, when life gets in the way, or when your efforts feel inadequate. That's okay. What matters is that you don't let one bad day derail the entire process. Consistency is about the overall pattern, not isolated moments. If you miss a day, get back on track the next. Progress is not linear, but persistence ensures that it continues. To stay consistent, focus on your why. Remind yourself of the vision you're working toward and the reasons behind it. When the work feels tedious, let your purpose reignite your commitment. Break your goals into manageable steps and celebrate the small victories along the way. Each milestone, no matter how minor, reinforces the importance of staying the course. Consistency may not be flashy, but it's powerful. It's the quiet determination to do the work day after day that ultimately transforms your life. Over time, the daily grind becomes second nature, and the progress you once struggled to see becomes undeniable. Change isn't something that happens, it's something you build one consistent step at a time. The people and influences you surround yourself with are like the soil in which you're planted. They shape your thoughts, actions, and ultimately your growth. If you're serious about rebuilding yourself, you cannot afford to overlook the power of your environment. Surrounding yourself with strength means being intentional about the people you allow into your life and the influences you expose yourself to. It's about choosing those who uplift you, challenge you, and push you to become the best version of yourself. Your circle matters. The people closest to you have a profound impact on your mindset and motivation. If you're surrounded by negativity, people who doubt you, criticize you, or drain your energy, it becomes that much harder to stay focused on your goals. Their voices can seep into your thoughts, planting seeds of doubt that grow over time. On the other hand, when you're surrounded by strong, supportive people, they inspire you to rise higher. Their belief in you strengthens your belief in yourself. Strength in your circle doesn't just mean unwavering support. It also means accountability. True friends and mentors don't let you stay comfortable in mediocrity. They challenge you to be better, to aim higher, and to stay true to your values. Sometimes this means having hard conversations or hearing feedback that's tough to swallow. But that's what growth requires: people who care enough about you to push you toward your potential, even when it's uncomfortable. Building a strong environment also involves curating the influences you allow into your mind. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with information, social media, news, entertainment, and more. These inputs shape your thoughts and ultimately your actions. If you consume negativity, gossip, or distractions, it's like planting weeds in your mental garden. But when you choose influences that inspire, educate, and motivate you, they become fuel for your growth. Books, podcasts, mentors, and even the content you follow online, these are all part of your environment, and they should align with the person you want to become. It's not always easy to change your environment. Sometimes it means distancing yourself from people who have been in your life for a long time but no longer align with your goals. This can be painful, but it's necessary. Growth often requires letting go of what no longer serves you to make room for what will. Surrounding yourself with strength means prioritizing your future self over the comfort of familiarity. At the same time, seek out new connections that align with your vision. Find communities of people who share your values and aspirations. These are the individuals who will inspire you, hold you accountable, and remind you of your purpose when the journey gets tough. Ultimately, your environment can either be a barrier or a springboard for your growth. By surrounding yourself with strength, you create a foundation of support and inspiration that keeps you moving forward, even in the face of challenges. Choose wisely because the company you keep shapes the person you become. Believing in the new you is the cornerstone of transformation. Change is never easy, and often the hardest person to convince of your potential is yourself. It's natural to feel doubt, especially when the results of your effort aren't visible yet. But faith in your ability to change isn't about waiting for proof. It's about trusting the process and knowing that the person you're working to become is already within you, waiting to emerge. The journey of rebuilding yourself begins in the mind. If you don't believe in the possibility of change, every step will feel heavier, every setback will seem final, and every challenge will look like a wall instead of a hurdle. Belief acts as a compass, guiding you through uncertainty and keeping you moving forward even when the destination feels far away. Without it, you risk giving up before you've given yourself a real chance to grow. Believing in the new you requires letting go of the old you. It means releasing the narratives that have held you back, the stories you've told yourself about why you can't succeed, why you're not enough, or why things will never change. These thoughts are like chains keeping you tied to your past. To rebuild, you must break those chains and replace them with a new story, one of possibility, resilience, and growth. This doesn't mean denying your past or pretending it didn't happen. It means recognizing that your past does not define your future. You are not your mistakes, your failures, or your circumstances. You are the person who has the power to rise above them. One of the most challenging aspects of believing in the new you is maintaining faith during setbacks. Change is rarely linear, and there will be moments when progress feels slow or non-existent. In those times, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, maybe I'm not capable of this. But that's when belief is most important. Remind yourself that setbacks are a natural part of growth. Every great transformation has moments of doubt, but the people who succeed are the ones who keep going, even when it's hard. A powerful way to strengthen your belief is to act as if you already are the person you're becoming. Speak, think, and behave in alignment with your vision, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. Over time, these actions reinforce your belief and bring you closer to your goals. Celebrate small victories along the way because each step forward is proof that you're capable of change. Surround yourself with influences that reinforce your belief. People who encourage you, content that inspires you, and practices that build your confidence all play a role in keeping your faith strong. Belief in the new you is not about blind optimism. It's about recognizing your potential and committing to the process, no matter how long it takes. Trust that the effort you're putting in today is shaping a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. Have faith in your journey because the results will come, and when they do, you'll realize you've been that person all along. As we come to the end of this journey of rebuilding, let me remind you that the power to transform your life lies within you. Every step we've discussed, acknowledging the brokenness, embracing the pain, defining your vision, doing the work daily, surrounding yourself with strength, and believing in the new you are not just ideas. They are tools, principles, and truths that, when practiced consistently, will lead you to a life of purpose, strength, and fulfillment. Rebuilding yourself is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong process, a journey of continuous growth and evolution. There will be moments when you stumble, times when you doubt, and days when it feels easier to stay broken than to keep moving forward. But remember this, the struggle is proof that you're still in the fight. The work you're doing, no matter how small it seems, is meaningful. Each brick you lay, each choice you make is building something stronger than what was there before. The beauty of rebuilding lies in its power to redefine not just your circumstances, but also your identity. You're not just repairing what was broken, you're creating something new, something resilient. When you acknowledge the cracks in your life and take responsibility for them, you reclaim control over your story. When you embrace the pain instead of running from it, you transform it into strength. When you define your vision, you set a course for the life you truly want, not the one you've been settling for. Showing up every day, doing the work even when it's hard, even when no one is watching, is where the magic happens. Consistency isn't flashy, but it's powerful. Over time, it creates the momentum that propels you forward, turning effort into habit and habit into transformation. Surrounding yourself with the right people and influences fortifies that momentum, reminding you that you're not alone in your journey. The strength of your environment becomes the wind beneath your wings, lifting you higher than you could ever rise on your own. And most importantly, believe in the new you. Have faith in your ability to grow, to overcome, and to become. Even when you can't yet see the results, trust that the process is working. Change is slow, but it's steady, and it's worth every ounce of effort you invest. The person you're becoming is already within you, waiting for you to uncover them through your actions, choices, and persistence. So as you leave here today, know this: you are capable of rebuilding. No matter how broken you feel, you are not defined by your failures, your pain, or your past. You are defined by your determination to rise, to rebuild, and to become. Take these principles and apply them not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Because your new life begins the moment you decide to start building it. Stand tall, take a step, and begin the work. Your best self is waiting for you, and the world is waiting to see the incredible person you are becoming. So when life breaks you, and it will remember that brokenness is not your story's end, it's the moment you start again. Stand up, pick up the pieces, and rebuild yourself, because the person you're destined to become is worth every ounce of effort, every tear, and every sacrifice. Now go, build, believe, become. Thank you.